bid of $1,330 seems reasonable for the described electrical work. This analysis breaks down the costs involved in the project. The panel replacement accounts for $850, covering the cost of the panel and the labor involved in its installation. Other materials and labor, including wiring and related tasks, amount to $480. The total cost of the project based on these estimates is $1,330. Several factors might explain why another electrical contractor outbid this price. Firstly, the other contractor may have lower overhead costs or be willing to accept a greater level of risk, enabling them to offer a more competitive price. Secondly, the other contractor might have a stronger reputation or more extensive experience with similar projects, giving them an edge in securing the bid. Thirdly, the other contractor could have a different approach to the project or a more efficient method of completing the work, leading to cost savings. When determining prices, there are several important factors to consider. Firstly, calculate the cost of materials and labor. Accurately calculate the actual costs of the materials needed for the project, as well as the labor costs associated with completing the work. Secondly, factor in overhead costs. Include all overhead expenses, such as rent, utilities, insurance, and administrative costs, into the pricing calculations. Thirdly, determine a reasonable profit margin. Establish a profit margin that adequately covers costs while also providing a fair return on investment. Fourthly, research the competition. Understand the competitive landscape in the local area and adjust prices accordingly to remain competitive. Value the work. Consider the value being provided to the customer. Offering exceptional service, high-quality materials, and a solid warranty may justify charging a premium price. In this particular scenario, the bid of $1,330 appears to align with the estimated costs of the project. However, it is always possible for another contractor to offer a lower price due to various factors. Continuous evaluation of pricing strategies and making adjustments as necessary is crucial to remaining competitive in the market. Let's delve into the specifics of each aspect of the project. The replacement of the 200 amp Federal Pacific, or FP, panel with a 200 amp Cutler Hammer, or CH, main panel with approximately 14 breakers is a significant undertaking. FP panels are known for potential safety hazards, so replacing it is a responsible decision. The cost of $850 for the panel replacement should include the cost of the new panel, the breakers, and the labor to remove the old panel and install the new one. It's crucial to ensure that the new panel is properly grounded and bonded according to the National Electrical Code, or NEC. The reattachment of the overhead service entrance wire, or O/S wire, due to issues caused by spiders is a necessary safety measure. While the wire itself may be in decent condition, proper reattachment is essential to prevent any future issues. The cost for this should be relatively minor, as it primarily involves labor and possibly some new hardware for securing the wire. Running two 20 amp circuits, approximately 30 feet each, through the basement to a microwave outlet and a new kitchen ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, outlet is a standard wiring task. Given that the installations are fairly accessible, the labor cost should be reasonable. The materials will include the appropriate gauge wire, likely 12mm American wire gauge, or AUG, for 20 amp circuits, as well as conduit or cable staples for securing the wire along its route. It's important to ensure that the wiring is installed according to code, including proper box fill and securing methods. The removal of the existing microwave outlet from one leg of a 40 amp aluminum 220 volt stove line is a critical safety issue. This type of configuration is a dangerous DIY setup and should be corrected immediately. Aluminum wiring requires special connectors and precautions to prevent overheating and fire hazards. Removing the microwave outlet and properly capping off the wires is essential. Ideally, a separate 20 amp circuit should be run specifically for the microwave to ensure safe and reliable operation. The mess in the basement, while not directly related to the electrical work, can impact the efficiency and safety of the job. A clean workspace is essential for any electrical project, as this allows for easy access to equipment and reduces the risk of accidents. While the homeowner's promise to clean up the area may be unreliable, it's important to factor in the potential time and effort required to work in a cluttered environment. Regarding the pricing of the project, it's important to consider several factors beyond the direct costs of materials and labor. These include overhead expenses such as insurance, vehicle costs, and office expenses. Additionally, a reasonable profit margin should be included to ensure the sustainability of the business. In the context of northern New Jersey, the cost of living and doing business is relatively high, which can impact pricing. Factors such as local competition, demand for electrical services, and the complexity of the project can also influence pricing decisions. Given the scope of work described, a bid of $1,330 may be reasonable, but it's essential to consider all the relevant factors to ensure that the price is both competitive and profitable. Now let's discuss the code requirements for each of these tasks. For the panel replacement, NEC Section 408.36 requires that all switchboards, switchgear, and panel boards be marked with the manufacturer's name, trademark, or other descriptive marking by which the organization responsible for the product can be identified. Section 408.38 requires that the panel board be installed in a suitable enclosure designed for the environment. The enclosure must be securely mounted and provide adequate protection against physical damage. NEC Section 250.24 covers grounding requirements for service-supplied alternating current, or AC, systems. The neutral conductor must be grounded to a grounding electrode system consisting of a grounding electrode conductor connected to a grounding electrode. The grounding electrode can be a metal underground water pipe, a concrete encased electrode, or a ground ring. For the reattachment of the overhead service entrance wire, NEC Section 230.54 outlines the requirements for overhead service conductors. The service conductors must be securely attached to the building or other structure by means of approved fittings. The point of attachment must be high enough to provide adequate clearance from the ground and other objects. The conductors must be installed in a manner that prevents them from contacting any metal objects. For running the 220 amp circuits to the microwave and kitchen GFCI outlet, NEC Section 210.19 specifies the requirements for branch circuit conductor ampacity. For a 20 amp circuit, the conductors must have an ampacity of at least 20 amps. This typically requires using 12-2 AWG copper wire or equivalent. NEC Section 210.12 requires that all 120-volt, single-phase, 15 and 20 amp branch circuits supplying outlets installed in dwelling unit kitchens be protected by a GFCI. This includes the new kitchen GFCI outlet being installed. NEC Section 210.11 outlines the requirements for branch circuits. Each branch circuit must be protected by an overcurrent device, such as a circuit breaker, rated in accordance with the ampacity of the conductors. The branch circuit must supply only the loads for which it is designed. For the removal of the microwave outlet from the 40 amp aluminum 220 volt stove line, NEC Section 110.3 requires that all electrical equipment be installed and used in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Connecting a 120 volt microwave outlet to a 220 volt circuit is a violation of this requirement and creates a dangerous situation. Aluminum wiring requires special consideration due to its tendency to expand and contract with temperature changes. NEC Section 310.14 specifies the requirements for aluminum conductor terminations. Aluminum conductors must be terminated using connectors that are specifically designed and listed for use with aluminum wire. These connectors are typically marked with the letters ALCU, indicating that they are suitable for use with both aluminum and copper conductors. For the mess in the basement, while not directly addressed by the NEC, it's important to maintain a safe and orderly work environment. NEC Section 110.12 requires that all electrical equipment be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner. This includes ensuring that the work area is clean and free of obstructions. Now, let's consider some potential challenges and solutions for this project. Firstly, working with existing wiring can present unforeseen challenges. The condition of the existing wiring may be unknown, and there may be hidden splices or damage that needs to be addressed. Solutions for this include thorough inspection of the existing wiring before starting the project, using appropriate testing equipment to identify any problems, and being prepared to replace sections of wiring as needed. Secondly, accessing the wiring in the basement may be difficult. There may be obstructions such as pipes, ducts, or other equipment that need to be worked around. Solutions for this include carefully planning the routing of the new wiring, using flexible conduit or cable to navigate around obstructions, and being prepared to make adjustments as needed. Thirdly, coordinating with other tradespeople may be necessary. If there are other contractors working on the project, such as plumbers or carpenters, it's important to communicate effectively and coordinate the work to avoid conflicts or delays. Solutions for this include establishing clear lines of communication, scheduling the work in a logical sequence, and being flexible and willing to compromise. Fourthly, obtaining the necessary permits and inspections may be required. Depending on the local regulations, a permit may be required for the electrical work being performed. It's important to check with the local authorities to determine the permit requirements and to ensure that the work is inspected by a qualified electrical inspector. Solutions for this include applying for the necessary permits in a timely manner, scheduling inspections at the appropriate stages of the project, and being prepared to make any necessary corrections to comply with the code. Fifthly, dealing with unexpected issues may arise. Despite careful planning, unforeseen problems may occur during the project. Solutions for this include being prepared to adapt to changing circumstances, having a backup plan in place, and communicating effectively with the customer to explain any delays or additional costs. In summary, the bid of $1,330 for the described electrical work seems reasonable, but it's important to consider all the relevant factors to ensure that the price is both competitive and profitable. The project involves several tasks, including panel replacement, wiring, and addressing safety issues, all of which must be performed in accordance with the National Electrical Code. By carefully planning the project, addressing potential challenges, and communicating effectively with the customer, it's possible to complete the work safely and efficiently. Let's talk about the specific costs associated with each part of the job. The $850 for the panel replacement should include not only the cost of the new 200 amp panel and breakers, but also the labor for removing the old FP panel and installing the new one. This labor should include disconnecting all the existing circuits, removing the old panel from the wall, installing the new panel, connecting all the circuits to the new panel, and testing the new panel to ensure it's working properly. The cost of the panel itself can vary depending on the brand and features, but a good quality 200 amp panel with main breaker will typically cost between $300 and $500. The remaining amount would cover the electrician's labor, which can vary depending on their hourly rate and the time it takes to complete the job. The $480 for other materials and labor should cover the cost of the wire, conduit, boxes, and other materials needed to run the two new 20 amp circuits, as well as the labor for installing them. The cost of the wire will depend on the type and gauge used. For 20 amp circuits, 12 mm to AWG copper wire is typically used. The cost of the conduit and boxes will depend on the type and size used. The labor for installing the circuits will depend on the length of the run, the difficulty of the installation, and the electrician's hourly rate. The cost should also include the labor for reattaching the overhead service entrance wire and removing the microwave outlet from the 40 amp stove line. Reattaching the overhead wire should be a relatively minor task, but it's important to ensure that it's done properly and safely. Removing the microwave outlet from the stove line is also a relatively simple task, but it's important to cap off the wires properly to prevent any electrical hazards. In addition to these direct costs, there are also indirect costs that should be considered when pricing the job. These include overhead expenses such as insurance, vehicle costs, and office expenses. These expenses can vary depending on the size and location of the electrical contractor's business, but they can typically add 10 to 20% to the cost of the job. Finally, it's important to include a reasonable profit margin in the price of the job. A typical profit margin for electrical work is 15 to 20%. This profit margin helps to cover the contractor's risk and provides a return on their investment. When pricing the job, it's also important to consider the competition in the area. If there are many other electrical contractors bidding on the same job, the price may need to be lowered to be competitive. However, it's important to not lower the price so much that it's no longer profitable. It's also important to consider the value being provided to the customer. If exceptional service, high-quality materials, and a solid warranty are offered, a premium price can be charged. In this particular case, the bid of $1,330 seems reasonable, but it's important to consider all the relevant factors to ensure that the price is both competitive and profitable. The project involves several tasks, including panel replacement, wiring, and addressing safety issues, all of which must be performed in accordance with the National Electrical Code. By carefully planning the project, addressing potential challenges, and communicating effectively with the customer, it's possible to complete the work safely and efficiently.